Hello and thank you for joining us on the road to COP27. It is the second week of the conference, the second and final week of the COP27 right here in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. And of course, we continue talking to stakeholders on this program to find out what it is that they're doing at this conference, how they're extracting value at this conference, and of course, what they hope to achieve at the end of it all. And so on this episode, today we'll be talking to the CEO of COMACO, Mr. Dale Lewis. Join me on the other side. Well, let's talk about COP27. Why are you attending this conference? Why is it important for COMACO?
I wanted to represent Zambia foremost, and I wanted to represent the farmers that we support because they've achieved so much for climate solutions. And I'm able to tell our story and learn what other countries are doing.
Now, you have been in the news of late, paying out a lot of money to people in Eastern Province and other places. Tell us a bit more about that.
Well, farmers now have learned how to take care of their soil, and by taking care of their soil, they're able to stay sedentary, which means they don't have to wander off and clear more forests for more farmland. And so the combination of good farming practices, putting carbon into the soil and reducing the destruction of trees has contributed to an opportunity for farmers to make another source of income in addition to in addition to selling their crops to COMACO. They're also able to now earn money from the carbon credits that they are actually earning as well.
What other areas in Zambia are you hoping to bring into the carbon credit market? Apart from Eastern Province, of course.
Well, we've just moved into an area along the eastern side of Kafue National Park. But I'd just like to mention something to our Zambian viewers, that we're in the process this year of doing something that's extraordinary. And I think it's so important on a national scale that I should mention it, because we've learned how important Zambia's small-scale farmers are to saving the biodiversity, keeping the soil healthy, to retaining rainwater and moisture, and above all, feeding Zambians with food that's chemical-free. And they're doing this by planting a tree that enriches the soils. And this year, I am so proud to say this, that we have a target, and I think we're going to reach it, of planting 100 million tree seedlings of a particular species that is essentially a fertilizer tree. And I don't think there is another example in Africa. And I have to tell the viewers also that I think we've been a little quiet about telling the story. We didn't know how special, how unique, how important it is. And I think Zambians can really take pride in knowing that those small-scale farmers out there are keeping Zambia's environment safe.
We're here at the COP27 and we are obviously discussing climate financing, green projects, sustainable development for a country like Zambia. How do you fit into that conversation as a bank?
Well, today, for a start, COP27, it's Finance Day, where we're talking about aspects of financing in different areas that are related to climate change and also environmental protection. So as a bank, we play a very big role in what we do in our communities, not just economically, but also socially. And I think as a large corporate, we need to earn our social license by making sure that our own activities, as well as the activities of those we partner with, are done in a responsible manner or have impact to deliver sustainable development for our society.
Let's talk about some of the sentiments President Hakainde Hichilema brought forward. He spoke about banks being receptive, being able to assist those that may want to invest in projects that speak to climate change. So far, how do you think this can work in Zambia?
I mean, some of those projects fit in very well with where we play. And we play in all the sectors which drive Zambia's growth. So if I look at energy, for example, in the energy sector, we've been promoting renewable energy for quite a while. Some of our companies that we work with are right now increasing the production of renewable energies like solar and wind. And that includes, and I think I can safely say this, First Quantum Group has incorporated renewable energy in their operations where it's feasible. So it's those kind of diversified use of energy so we can start moving away or increasingly using renewable energy. And I think we need to recognize that given the position and the status of Zambia as a developing country, we need to also recognize that it's not going to be something that we do from day one. It has to be a transitional transition. So that's why we call it a just energy transition, because you need to also be cognizant of the fact that some of these renewable activities and investments, they do take time, and we do have existing energy production, for example, coal. And so we still need to ramp up our energy requirements. So it's how to manage that in a very responsible manner, taking into consideration the balance between the jobs that are currently out there and the energy sources that we currently out there and where we want to be as a country. So we are not there yet, but we can transition there. But we also need to partner with those individuals and those companies that are still on that transition. Zimbabwe has done very well in that respect, and that I'm still talking to the carbon creation. So if we are looking at let's save on cutting down trees, and as we know, Zambia has got a dreadful reputation as being one of the worst depleters of the forests on the continent. Let's work with the people who actually earn their living, whose livelihoods depend on that. We don't just say don't cut down trees. We say let's help us to preserve our forests. And here are the alternatives of what we can be doing with you and partnering with you to preserve our forests. An example of what STANBIC Bank Zambia is doing is the Secure Zambia project, which we're doing in conjunction with the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment, with WWF and also with GIZ, and partnerships like the conservation societies, the forestry department, where we've gone into the catchment area, which is a protected area, but it wasn't protected. So we're now working with the community saying, let us now restore that area, because that is the source of our water. And Zambia has been blessed with having about 20% of the fresh water on this continent. But if we don't work hard, we're going to lose that status.
Well, that's the program for today. Join us again tomorrow as we speak to another stakeholder and find out what they're doing in the space of climate change. Remember, this program is proudly brought to you by WWF Zambia. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.